Okay, I got stuck. I said barbarian, and the video got stuck. Is that symbolic in some way? Are barbarians attacking my Wi-Fi connection? Anyway, so we have a very different experience in the medieval East, Byzantine Empire, and the West, which starts off, we call it sometimes the Dark Ages, but I don't like that term because the barbarians have art, they have culture, they just beat up a lot of people, but so did the Romans, and we like them. So I would say that the East is a continuation of the Roman Empire, but with Christianity at its base. So we're going to see some big changes in the art in the early Christian period, which is art still partially in Rome, but also shifting now out of Italy and into these other areas that are more Eastern. And under the Emperor Justinian, we see a real expansion of Byzantium, almost in the same way that we had a Roman Empire. And then things start to shrink because in the 8th century we have the coming of Islam, and they attack the Byzantines, and that empire begins to shrink back. And by the time that starts happening, we start to see the rise in the West of medieval cities until we begin to see the emphasis of the Gothic period, which begins with the idea of God is light, which is a idea that actually transfers back from Constantinople back to the West, where it sort of had originated in Greece, with the classical Greece, the idea of light and God and all of that sort of begins in Byzantium and then comes back. So we have lots of movement actually in the medieval period. There's pilgrimage, which you'll be thinking about for one of your paper options. There is a lot of trade. The Vikings are about, and the Vikings are actually hired by the Byzantines as mercenaries for a while. So there's a lot of moving around. And we can tell that from some of the burial finds that we find. One of which is Sutton Hoo, which is in the Dark Age West around the 7th century. And there is actually a movie about it. I don't know how you could make a movie about the Sutton Hoo find that's boring, but these people managed to do it. So that's just a warning. But if you want to see a movie about how they found the Sutton Hoo find and how they excavated it, you might want to look at The Dig that's on Netflix. It's a fictional account, but based on reality. But, like, for instance, we know that the photographers that took the pictures of the finds were women. So why they had to change it to a man in the movie, I don't know. That's one of the things that pisses me off about it. But otherwise, it's kind of cool, but it's boring. So just FYI. So that's about it. I just wanted to give you kind of a update or a preview of the final module here, giving you a little more time since we have like all of this medieval East and all of this medieval West. So you have until June 30th to complete the module. And I'm going to tell you right now that part of the chaos of my life right now is culminating in having to be out of town, away from a computer. June, which I did not anticipate when I first set this class up, but you know, life happens. I'm going to be away from my computer all of June 29th, June 30th, and possibly July 1st. That I'm not sure about that, but definitely the 30th and the 29th, I will not be able to make many comments or answer email. So please keep that in mind. Your paper is due the 30th, so if you have issues or problems, you'll need to get in touch with me ahead of time or know that I won't be able to respond to your problem until likely after the 1st of July. We finished the class on the 5th, so your finale assignment has been open for really since the start of the class, and you can turn that in anytime between the 1st and the 5th. You don't have any new information. It's just the wrap up 5 days. If you want to have a 4th of July full weekend of holiday, then get it in early and say you're done. I will wait until the 5th to grade anything, or I guess the 6th to grade things. But if you want to turn it in early, that's your final assignment. There's no quiz. I think there's one learning journal I'm asking for to kind of wrap up the class, but there's no discussion board. Module 4 is the last of the discussion boards, and it is split. And you don't have to do anything special. When you go to click discussion board, it'll just take you to your group. Okay? If you have any questions or problems, you know what to do. Email me, gmckay@mcdaniel.edu. I'm sorry these two videos split in half, but maybe that's for the best. You can watch them each. One was about 6.5 minutes, and this one's 5. So I'm yickety yackety today. See you later. See you in the class. Bye bye.